Ben Franklin was the world's first electrical superstar. Most people think of Franklin as a guy on a $100 bill or a guy who flew a kite in a storm, but in the 18th century, he was the world's first scientific superstar. He called himself a natural philosopher, someone who studied the very nature of how things work. He actually retired from his printing business at 42 just so he could focus on science full-time. Before Franklin, electricity was basically a parlor trick. People rubbed glass rods to pick up bits of fluff, but they didn't really understand what was happening. Franklin changed the game by realizing electricity was a fundamental force of nature, just like gravity. He scrapped the old, confusing theories and proposed something simple, the single fluid theory. He suggested that every object has a natural amount of electric fire. If a body has too much, he called it positive. If it has too little, it's negative. When he rubbed glass, he wasn't creating electricity. He was just moving that fluid from one place to another. This discovery became a pillar of physics, the law of conservation of charge. Then came the legendary Philadelphia experiment. In 1752, Franklin set out to prove that lightning was just giant-scale electricity. Now, forget the myth of him standing in a field during a hurricane. He actually stayed inside a doorway to keep his silk ribbon dry, because a wet ribbon would conduct electricity straight into his hand, which is a great way to get killed. He used a kite made of silk and cedar strips with a sharp pointed wire at the top. As a thundercloud passed over, the wire drew electric fire from the air. When he put his knuckle near a key tied to the string, a spark jumped. He had officially proved the sameness of lightning and the electricity in his lab. Franklin immediately turned this into his most famous invention, the lightning rod. He discovered the power of points, that a sharp needle could draw off electricity silently. He argued that a pointed rod on a building would either prevent a strike or safely guide it into the ground. This invention actually triggered a massive political drama known as knobs versus points. Franklin's rivals, led by Benjamin Wilson, argued that points actually invited lightning and blunt knobs were safer. King George III eventually got involved, siding with the blunt rods specifically because he hated the American rebels. He even ordered the pointed rods on his palaces to be replaced with blunt ones. But Franklin's curiosity didn't stop at the sky. He invented bifocals because he was tired of switching between two pairs of glasses for reading and distance. He designed the Franklin stove, which used clever baffles to create more heat with less smoke. He even tracked the river in the ocean, the Gulf Stream, by measuring water temperatures during his 8 trips across the Atlantic. He even tested an old sailor's tale that oil could calm rough water. He dropped a teaspoon of oil onto a pond at Clapham Common and watched it spread with surprising swiftness, turning half an acre of choppy waves into a smooth mirror. Franklin believed the best way to serve God was by doing good for others. He refused to patent his inventions, believing they should be a gift to posterity. He found electricity a curiosity and left it a science.